Hi there, welcome to the Fierce Factor podcast. I'm your host, Kaylee Lindholm. And I think it's time for us women to shift the conversation in business and step into our feminine leadership to do the most iconic work the aesthetic industry has ever seen. Each week, I'll be bringing a powerful dose of strategy, sarcasm, solutions, and sass that will rev up your creativity and ignite your brilliance as you link arms with me along our shared path of personal and professional growth in 20 minutes or less. Let's go. Hello, leader. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of the Fierce Factor podcast. It's Kaylee here, and I am super pumped about this week. Of course, because I'm here with you, but also because I am getting ready to head out on a solo retreat to Scottsdale. I will be spending a few days at a 5-star resort with a room overlooking the golf course as I gift myself expansive emotional and physical space to think, plan, and prepare myself for what's to come in 2023. I know, don't be jealous. Now, if you work with me as a client, then you either already have taken or get ready, queen, you will be taking one of these personal solitude retreats as a power move to step out of the day-to-day grind in your business and into a quiet, relaxing, and nourishing space to focus on curating your strategic growth plan for your business and personal development and investing in your energetic well-being. And that's what we're going to talk about today, really about energy. And, energy has become one of my favorite resources to measure since I became a business owner. And probably not for the reason you think. Most of us think of energy as something to tap into to stimulate more output. Like if I have more energy, I can work longer days. And that's true. But what I've realized is that energy is both an output and an input, meaning the more I invest into activities that energize me, the more energy I have. How cool is that? If you think of it like food, it's kind of like the more calories I eat, the more I theoretically have to burn. Right? You kind of input and output. And it's been like learning a new art form for me, distinguishing how to preserve, but also stimulate and ignite my own energy. So not only can I invest the energy I have in ways that produce the most optimal output, but also learning how to build up an almost endless supply I can tap into and really access as a rich and plentiful well for me when I feel my energetic health begin to fade. And what's fascinating is that energy for entrepreneurs, it literally has like its own essence. In fact, a 2020 research paper published by Dr. David Long, PhD, so appropriately titled Entrepreneurial Energy in a Far from Equilibrium Opportunity Driving Entrepreneurial Actions. In this paper, he's essentially naming entrepreneurial energy and describes it as a force that drives entrepreneurial ventures from creation to sustaining them through to exit, and then through innovation to extend the game or recreate another play. Entrepreneurial energy is an endogenous force that fuels motivation and sustains entrepreneurial action and momentum, encapsulating hope, optimism, and obsessiveness. The nature and experience of the entrepreneurial energy provides meaning to the entrepreneurial pursuit and venture. Essentially, what he's saying here is that an entrepreneur's energy is in fact a driving catalyst for traction and growth in a business. And here's the thing, leader, what we do as business owners and leaders, also for you practice managers out there, listen up, you need to show up as a force of energetic optimism every single day. Your role requires you to not only bring energy for yourself, but also for your team, your clients, and others around you. We as founders, we need to be energetically healthy. End of story. But so often, especially as women, we take on more and more responsibility, and in result, more and more ownership over the things that ultimately should be delegated to someone much more capable, interested, and quite frankly, eager to do the tasks that just aren't necessary that we as leaders independently tackle. Recently, a client told me she had a to-do list of 100 items and didn't feel like she could ever actually cross them off her list because even while she delegated them to another team member, she felt like she had to follow up on those tasks and ultimately be the task manager. So delegation felt like a double to-do list. And I get it. I was there just a few short years ago when I was taking my business from startup to scale up. And I remember feeling like every time we hired a new employee, it slowed the business momentum down in volumes. Like, not only was I responsible for delivering the day-to-day service, which is the very reason I needed to hire help in the first place, right? But now I needed to train, develop, coach, and assign accountabilities to a new team member on top of what I was already doing. And listen, I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. Hiring and building a team, however, just like any aspect of business growth, gets quicker and more efficient with practice and, of course, iteration and structure. And I found that structure and frameworks really create tremendous freedom for us as an entrepreneur, as counterintuitive as that may sound. So when you have systems in place that allows for replication, automation, and repeatable action, and like we say in our Pop Leadership Academy, build a business that grandma can come in and run for you. And if I'm honest, I think it's that freedom, even the idea of freedom and the freedom to choose how I spend my time, that initiates a mindset shift for me. A few weeks ago, I showed up to my workout with my trainer. It was early morning and I walked in and he was like, "How are you doing, Kaylee?" And I said, "I'm tired." He was like, "Well, did you not sleep well?" And I thought about it and I said, "No, I slept great." And he said, "Well, what's tiring you out already before we even started our workout?" It's kind of funny, actually. And it was at that point I realized I was exhausted just thinking about the day ahead of me. I had a slammed day, no breaks, no time to eat, no time to text with friends, just a busy day of high energy, creative tasks lined up back to back to back. And I imagined for a minute if all I had to do in the entire day just to work out, and then the rest of the day I had nothing ahead of me, how would I have answered that question differently? And it was really obvious. I would be totally open to pouring myself into that lift, and then I would handle my body's needs from there. If it meant sleep, I would sleep. If it needed eat, I would eat. If it needed sauna, I would sauna. If it wanted to work, I would work. If I wanted to hang out with friends, I would hang out with friends. If I wanted to be with my family, I would do that, whatever I needed. I mean, how liberating does that sound, goddess, right? And that's sort of the analogy for how open space and time in itself can regenerate momentum in our business, because it's our energy as an entrepreneur that ultimately stimulates the rest of the action. Like when you light a gas fire and you ignite that initial flame, the afterburn happens organically. And you can't fake it either. It's like the real deal or no deal when it comes to the kind of energy we're talking about here. And so today I want to share with you a couple of, well, 3 to be specific, ways that I have learned and share with our clients inside of the Pop Leadership Academy, the tools and practice of investing into inner energetic assets that have allowed me to become a woman capable of scaling my business and to help our clients become the woman who is capable of showing up as the most well-rested, energetic, and zest for life CEO that she can be. So the first strategy is to niche down to focus only on your most valuable buyers. When you're focused and apply constraint, you are able to go deeper to sophisticate your brand position, marketing, service delivery, client experience, and ability to attract and treat only the most discerning buyers. We worked with a female plastic surgeon who recently branded herself as the facelift touch-up specialist. She stopped marketing mommy makeovers, BBLs, lasers, Botox fillers, and guess what? Her non-surgical business exploded. Not to mention, many of the facelift patients who came to her were delighted to get surgical touch-up or splurge on 5 syringes of filler in one sitting with no problem. So what changed for her? She did the math. Who were her most valuable buyers? What commonalities did they share? And what were their buying behaviors? Talk about a surge of energetic sanity for her. Her marketing was clean, concise, and focused. Her patient intake process was smooth and repeatable. The patients who came to her had already invested in the ballpark of tens of thousands into their aesthetics, and they wouldn't balk at price. A simple niche down, a power move for her business, simplicity, and her energetic wellness. Strategy number 2 is to surround yourself with a high performance team. That means no more micromanaging, goddess. So often our challenges with team really come back to an employee's attitude about the work they do. Hire for passion and make sure you are explicitly clear on what activities an employee should be responsible for and how they contribute to the profitability of the company. Then hire kick-ass motivated humans and let them do their thing. So much of our exhaustion stems from inherent ambiguity in the role to begin with. Then we judge their performance in our head and we drain ourselves with micromanagement or mental checklists. So stop settling for subpar employees and watch your own passion for your business regenerate. And finally, strategy number 3 is get comfortable with being bored. You see, as entrepreneurs, we're like problem solvers. So often we give ourselves problems to solve. And I honestly think we get so comfortable with overwhelm and the constant to-dos that we subconsciously make sure we have them in our lives. They're like our cozy blanket. Because if you've been growing your business like a boss, it's probably because you're a total badass who knows how to grind and work to achieve a goal. You didn't get where you are by being bored. But if you can make yourself settle into that uncomfortable white space, like not rushing to replace an employee who left or letting yourself have FOMO over the new rebrand or space upgrade, you just might find yourself with a reasonable to-do list. There's always time to add. Instead, say no every damn day. Say no until you are flat out bored. I dare you. And I will add this just as a bonus strategy that energy doesn't always come from rest either. Energy can come from action. Energy can come from being fueled by certain people that you're around. Pay attention to that and notice where you feel yourself getting energized and do more of that. Leader, one of our core philosophies at KLC is to make pleasure your primary KPI. If you're chasing a number, you might add one metric to your scale. How about joy? What if you could measure joy? I mean, really think about it. What if you could measure joy? If there was like a joy barometer, a joy scale, where would your business rank? Do you have $1 million business in joy currency? Be honest. Saying yes to the laundry, the carpool, the groceries, the micromanaging may make you feel needed or busy, but what kind of fulfillment could you derive from a beautiful business that perfectly supports a life of space, time, and choice? And we are all about architecting a life-first business over here at KLC. And as I'm away on my personal retreat, I will be thinking about you and the possibilities for you, Goddess, the possibilities for you to learn this new paradigm of growth that we have pioneered over here at KLC. Because the difference is notable. When you're in the presence of a woman who has done this work, who has tapped into her energetic discipline, you will recognize not only a clean business that is poised to scale and multiple, but also a woman who is well-rested, clear on her goals, and confident in the assets that she has curated to get her there. Leader, if you'd like to learn more about this and you're interested in working with a coach and a power squad to help you become that woman, you can join us. Like, come over here. I invite you. If you've been listening for a while and you're like, someday, now's the time. You can head to klcconsultants.com/join. Just set up a no pressure call with me, or you can even talk to a team member and just see if working together might be the right fit for you. 2023 is around the corner. Don't head into another year waiting to get out of your hustle and grow culture. Find a strategic partner who can help you harness and extract your entrepreneurial energy. Okay, have an amazing week, Goddess. I know I will. Wait, before you go, hey, if you're vibing with this conversation and you want to join me on my mission to help 100 inspiring and intentional women cross the next $1 million milestone in their business this year, or leader, maybe you want to become one of them, head over to Facebook and join our free community, the Fierce Factor Society. Over there, we're taking this conversation to an elevated level. Get access to resource guides, podcast supplements, guideposts, and direct communication with me, my expert team, and of course, a society of fierce women making big moves and disrupting the status quo in aesthetic wellness. You can link directly through the show notes or head to Facebook and search the Fierce Factor Society. See you there, Goddess.